Hello, ladies and gentlemen, the World Cup draw is finally complete, and I gotta say, I'm very happy with it. Not disappointed with any of these groups. Lots to like about for all of them. I definitely think this is a World Cup where you can't underestimate the underdogs. So although some of these groups might look easy to predict, I might have to throw a few twists here and there in this video, but I just cannot see all the favorite teams excelling in this. There's definitely so much to consider in this tournament. Keep in mind, at the time I'm recording this, the draw has literally just happened. I'm going to be doing a lot more prediction videos on this channel in the future, similar to how I did with the Euros, because obviously form can change within the teams. We still have a long way to go before the tournament starts. These are just my first initial thoughts. As always, let me know your predictions in the comments below. Let's start off with Group A. Honestly, I think one of the most fun groups in the tournament. You've obviously got the hosts, Qatar, in there, who definitely will have some home advantage. You've also got Ecuador, who have been amazing underdogs in South America, held on to a World Cup qualifying spot for some time now. And there's a lot of exciting youngsters on this team you gotta watch out for. Senegal, I think, are one of the most stacked teams in Africa. Look at the quality they have. Sadio Mane, Koulibaly, Sarr, Mendy. Honestly, such a complete team, and I'm very curious to see how they compete against other European teams. Their first test will be against Netherlands, the final team in this group. And this side, as we've seen recently, is such a hit or miss side. They didn't qualify in the World Cup 2018. They have been improving recently. Their defense is looking a lot stronger. Also, Van Dijk was injured during the Euros. We didn't get to see him perform there. So Netherlands did crash to the round of 16s to poor defending there from De Ligt. So we could very much see this team shine. We've seen them excel in previous World Cups. 2010, they made it to the final. 2014, all the way to the semi-final. I'm sure for most people, they look like the favorites in this. But it's definitely going to be difficult for them to cope with other styles of football. They're the only European team in this group, playing against one of the strongest African teams, South American underdogs, and then the host. Who do I think will take that first place spot? Can Netherlands do it? I think there will be possibly maybe one match where they do slip, whether it's just them getting 1 point or even losing. But I do think at the end, they will top this group. I feel like every team in this group will have their moments to shine. So I won't be surprised if I'm proved wrong and Netherlands do crash to second or third. But for now, I think they'll grab first place. But for second place, it's tough. Do I want to count out the hosts? They look like such underdogs in this tournament in general. I hate to say it. Obviously, if we're favoring teams on paper, I'd put Senegal second. Gotta keep in mind, they got so unlucky in 2018, just getting knocked out due to the yellow cards accumulated. I'm gonna say they have the motivation to do the job, get second place this time. Again, these are my very early thoughts, and I'm not too confident about this. Third or fourth, down to Ecuador or Qatar. Look, I love you, Ecuador. Honestly, you're one of my favorite South American teams right now. I do wish the best for this country, but something tells me Qatar will just top them in third. Ecuador fourth. That home advantage will play a part, and Ecuador do not excel very much when they play away. They obviously have a few results to counter that argument, but still not enough. I could see them struggling in this country. Ecuador, please prove me wrong. Like I said, my very initial thoughts, and good luck to every single one of these teams. Let's move on to Group B now. We've got England, Iran, USA, and then the playoff winner in Europe. So it's either going to be Ukraine, Scotland, or Wales. Obviously, we won't know which of these teams will qualify yet, and since none of them have qualified, I'm only going to take into account England, Iran, and USA for first, second, and third. Obviously, we'll do another prediction video once the playoffs finish. And this is a very entertaining group. Obviously, England look like the favorites in this, but if Wales or Scotland do qualify, you've got 3 English-speaking countries in this group. And I've already praised Iran in the past. I feel like everybody's going to overlook this side. But look at how well they did in 2018. Yes, they got knocked down the group stage, but they're in a group with Spain and Portugal and Morocco. They put off great fights all around. They really just missed out on knockouts, and I think they might want to get redemption here. USA, on the other hand, the quality on the team is amazing. Lots of youngsters there that definitely will improve in the future. However, with their current manager right now, things are looking a bit sloppy for them. Maybe Pulisic, McKennie, Gio Reyna can all pull through. Prove me wrong, but I think this World Cup, they might struggle in the groups. Don't get me wrong, after Croatia and Serbia, I am rooting for the USA, so I do hope I'm wrong on that statement. Alright, let's just start off by putting England at first. That's a pretty obvious pick. Obviously, England have already undergone their golden generation, but if anything, this current squad is their golden generation, in my opinion. Lots of young talent on the squad that are just happy to be there in the first place. The team morale is all the way up, and the England squad is still very competitive to get into, so all the talent that's fortunate enough to make it will be ecstatic. It would be incredible though if the USA could pull off a good result against England. The internet would go wild. But yeah, for that second place spot, I already talked about how the USA might struggle in this. Iran are doing such a fantastic job. Dragan Skocic has just made the team so much more organized. The attack is also looking more dangerous than ever before. Azmoun, Taremi. The United States obviously pull off good results here and there. And although they might look like the favorites on paper, I see this underrated Iran side coming in second for now. This could very much change. I do want to see how the USA progress as this year goes on. But for now, I am putting Iran at second, USA third. And yeah, that UEFA team we'll talk about later. Depending on the team, I think they can very much change this group as well. Apologies to the United States. Prove me wrong. But again, I might change my mind on this. I just have so much belief in Iran right now. Now for Group C. This might be one of the easier groups to predict. I'll just put it out there right now. Argentina getting first. This side has been phenomenal lately. It's undefeated in 30 or so matches. Messi on PSG isn't looking as electric as before. He's still getting the assists, but not scoring as many goals. For Argentina, however, all his teammates are feeding to him. Most likely last World Cup as well. They're going to want to go out with a bang. Clear favorites for me. The rest, though, is very tough to predict. Saudi Arabia is a neighboring country with Qatar, which very much could play to their advantage. Also, not to mention a fairly underrated side. Mexico, for so many World Cups in a row now, they have made it to the round of 16s. So many people are probably banking on them to still get second place in this. And then Poland. You've obviously got the best striker in the world, Robert Lewandowski, but not to mention their new manager, Michniewicz. The side looks a lot more confident now. We've seen them beat Sweden in the playoffs 2-0. Obviously just one match, but we very much could be seeing a newly improved Poland. I do think it's a bit too early to tell to see how well they'll do in this World Cup, but I think they should be happy with this group. It's a group where they can excel and possibly make it to the next round. For Mexico, although they didn't make it to second place in the CONCACAF qualifiers, sharing the same amount of points with Canada as well. Many matches in the qualifiers, they cut it close. They've been losing to the USA a decent amount of times recently as well. Damn, am I gonna doubt another CONCACAF team? I've already put USA in third for now. It's really gonna go down to the wire between Mexico versus Poland for me. We haven't seen enough of Poland yet, and Mexico's history does prove itself. I'm going to say they just scraped through to get that second place spot. I feel like they'll even share the same amount of points as Poland as well. I'm going it with it being that close. Mexico in second, Poland in third, Saudi Arabia in last. Again, I don't want to count out Saudi Arabia 100% as they're a neighboring country with Qatar, but Mexico and Poland do have a lot of quality. I could see them beating Saudi Arabia. Maybe they'll make it interesting with one of them, but these are my predictions for now. Sorry to the Poland fans. Again, this prediction can change. I need to see more of how Michniewicz handles the team. Group D, now we got France, Denmark, Tunisia, and a playoff spot which will be between Peru, Australia, or the United Arab Emirates. Again, we're going to leave that playoff spot blank for now. We'll just focus on France, Denmark, and Tunisia. Will France continue the World Cup curse? That is the big question a lot of people are asking. It's very much possible. They've already played Denmark in the last World Cup, and Denmark put off a good fight against them. Not to mention that playoff spot, it could be Peru as well. They were also in the same group in World Cup 2018, and although they crashed out of the group stage, they put off terrific fights throughout. Griezmann even stated it was one of the toughest teams he came up against. France really just have so much quality though, so it is looking so doubtful for them to get knocked down in the group stage. I mean, they're stacked in every single position. And with looking at the other teams, I think Denmark are a very possible dark horse of the tournament. Look at how well they did in Euro 2020. They really do excel so much as a unit. And in the last World Cup, they got pretty unlucky to Croatia. I'll admit, getting knocked down in the round of 16s on penalties is never an easy thing to take in. In Tunisia, a lot of people have been writing off this side, including me, to be honest. We've seen this side go through a lot recently. In the AFCON, they knocked out Nigeria in the round of 16s, and the side really does have a lot of heart. I applaud all Tunisian fans. You guys are always with your national team until the end. Will Tunisia have enough belief, though, to knock out a giant like France? For this group, I'm going to say that Denmark are able to top it. I feel like they're going to go out with a bang. I feel like they might even be able to beat France. They'll have that much determination in this tournament. I do see France struggling a little bit. Whether that means they get knocked out of the tournament, it's iffy. But I'm going to say that they're able to clinch second place just barely, and Tunisia third for now. I truly think Kasper Hjulmand is doing a fantastic job with the Danish side, and I see France breaking the World Cup curse, but making it that close. Mbappe, Benzema, Kante, the rest of them will stay hopeful for the knockouts though. Now taking a look at Group E. Very exciting group. Spain, Germany, Japan, and then another playoff spot. Spain and Germany are such giants in this tournament. They've obviously been going through a rough patch in recent years, after both winning the World Cup themselves. But now it looks like they're both back on track. Hansi Flick takeover could very much be present in this World Cup. They're already playing a lot better than the later years under Lowe. And Enrique has transformed this team beautifully. They're obviously undergoing a new generation of footballers, and they're very much all still succeeding under the Spanish system. Lots of young talent to talk about that will have to compete for certain roles. In the past, I was going to say the one thing Spain are missing is a solid striker. They kept starting Morata in the Euros. I thought that was a massive mistake. He has his moments, obviously. He scored some goals in that, but he made the Spanish very worried in the group stage of Euro 2020. If they sort a proper striker that fits into their system, I think the answer is Moreno. But yeah, if they can count on him, I think Spain can excel in this. Germany, on the other hand, lots of players still in their prime, and a lot of players that have been in the scene for a while, but still haven't necessarily excelled for international level. I don't want to be absolutely neglecting Japan here, but I definitely think Germany and Spain are the favorites for that first and second position. Who will top the group is definitely in question, and it sucks because I think regardless of who finishes first or second, Croatia, if they make it out of their group, will probably play one of these teams. I could see Spain and Germany possibly even drawing, but at the end, they will top the group. I'm going to say Germany get first, Spain second, and yeah, Japan third for now. Japan, a very exciting side in Asia, obviously, and they easily could prove me wrong. We saw this side have a thriller of a match against Belgium in the last World Cup, almost winning in that match. But I think Spain and Germany will be in control, at least for the group stage. That playoff spot will be going to Costa Rica or New Zealand, and depending on who it is, I definitely think they could make things interesting in this group as well. We've seen Costa Rica have a very nice fairy tale in 2014 in a group they looked impossible to get out of, and they finished first. So I don't want to write off any of these teams, but I think Spain and Germany got it. Now for Group F, the group I am most worried about: Belgium, Canada, Morocco, and Croatia. I'm so thankful I'll be able to see all these matches for Croatia. Very excited to see the Belgian national team. They're looking phenomenal. Although their golden generation is disintegrating, they can still pose a massive threat in this. We've seen them do very well in the qualifiers. They usually excel in the group stages. Canada, what an exciting side in CONCACAF recently, finishing first. What a team. So many underrated players. John Herdman doing a fantastic job with the national team as well. Nobody wants to write off Canada. However, we have not seen this team play against teams from elsewhere in the world apart from CONCACAF. Who knows, it might be a tough task for them. Morocco, on the other hand, in the final round for the Africa World Cup qualifiers, smashed DR Congo in the second leg. A promising side with some serious talent, Hakimi the biggest name of them all. The one problem that I have with this team, and I've said it in other videos, their manager Halil Hodzic has beef with Ziyech, and I think Ziyech is one of their most crucial attacking players. I think he's a huge loss for the national team, so I definitely think they got to squash that beef, get him back in the squad if they want to excel in this. Obviously, could be proven wrong. Still many fantastic players in the squad, but it's going to be a tough task. And not to mention the national team I support, Croatia, we're obviously struggling a bit compared to before. Our World Cup run in 2018 was phenomenal, but we are missing Mario Mandzukic, Ivan Rakitic, and Subasic. Subasic played a fantastic role in the many penalties we had to face. We do have a lot of midfield depth, obviously. I think that's Croatia's biggest strength, but Rakitic will still be missed. But the one I'll be missing the most, Mario Mandzukic, definitely one of our more lethal strikers in history, and I don't think his role has been filled in yet. Kramaric, yes, he just scored a fantastic goal against Bulgaria in friendlies, but he's not as reliable as Super Mario. Budimir as well has been disappointing for the national team. This is a very unpredictable group and a very tough one for all these teams, including Belgium. I do see Belgium getting first. Look, this side usually excels in the group stage. The knockouts are when they start to fade, and it could be tough for them, as if this prediction goes through, they'll have to face Spain. I do see Belgium topping the group, and I do see Croatia slipping at some point. I'm going to say Croatia gets second in this group. I'm going to be hopeful for the national team. A lot of people are doubting them. A lot of people are saying that they will crash in the group stage now, as Canada have been such an exciting side, and obviously we shouldn't underestimate Morocco. Whether you want to call it bias or not, I'm staying hopeful for Croatia. I think they can do it. But I definitely see Canada affecting this group if they still finish third. I am going to put Canada at third, Morocco fourth. Prove me wrong, Hrvatska, get first. Now for Group G, Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon. I think this is possibly the toughest group in the tournament. Brazil, possibly one of the best South American teams right now. They just absolutely destroy. Serbia and Switzerland, I talked about, are possibly the most underrated teams in Europe right now. Serbia has improved so much recently. The striker options are ridiculous. Dusan Vlahovic, Mitrovic, Jovic. Dusan Vlahovic is finally getting the credit he deserves after transferring to Juventus. But when he was at Fiorentina, I feel like a lot of people still forgot about his terrific stat, equalizing Ronaldo's record in a single calendar year for the Serie A. You've got terrific midfielders. Obviously, Lazio aren't at their peak, but Milinkovic-Savic is still pulling through. Dusan Tadic, this guy's been terrific for Ajax. He nearly broke Messi's assist record in 2021 as well. But for Switzerland, on the other hand, we've seen how much of a unit this side is. They qualified over Italy in the World Cup qualified group stage. We've seen them make it all the way to the quarterfinals in Euro 2020, having to face France, one of the biggest matches in the tournament in the round of 16s, and then just lose losing to Spain on penalties. Their recent friendly results don't suggest that they could do well, but still, what a terrific side, and I don't want to really judge their results off friendlies. It's hard to judge off friendlies. We'll see how they do in the Nations League. How about that? And then Cameroon, this side's attack is phenomenal as well. Abubakar and Toko Ekambi are serious threats, but we've seen it in their final match in the Africa World Cup qualifiers. This side always fights to the end. This is a very unpredictable group. I respect anyone's predictions. I'm going to say Brazil still gets first. This side has so much quality. I mean, look how many World Cups they won. And although we've already seen some of these matchups 4 years ago, we could see loads of comebacks. Serbia's looking a lot more improved since then as well. I'm going to say Serbia are able to get a comeback against Switzerland. They might struggle against Brazil. Maybe they'll get a draw. I don't know. But I'm going to say the only team they struggle against is the big Brazil, and they get second place in this group. Won't be surprised if I'm wrong, but everyone loves to write off all 3 of the teams apart from Brazil in this group. And they've all been excelling in their own ways recently. So no disrespect to Switzerland or Cameroon, but yeah, that's what I'm going with. I'll say Switzerland 3rd and Cameroon 4th. And I think it's going to be very close between all these teams. Now for Group H. Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, and South Korea. Obviously, the rematch between Uruguay and Ghana is going to be super interesting. Will Ghana be more motivated than ever to do it against Uruguay, especially after 2010? That was such a heartbreak for them. They could have broken history for Africa as well. No team has still made it further in the quarterfinals in Africa. This side honestly impressed me so much in the Africa World Cup qualifiers. The pace up front is looking absolutely electric. They got the 17-year-old wonder kid Isahaku, who's looking phenomenal and very dangerous up front. Something tells me things will go Ghana's way in this. I don't know why. I've doubted them in the past, obviously. They've been going through a rut, finishing 4th in the AFCON, but I do see them surprising a lot of people in this World Cup. Uruguay, obviously, so much quality in this side. Last time we'll be seeing the duo of Suarez and Cavani. They'll also want to go out with a bang as well for their final run. They did appoint Diego Alonso as their new manager. After having Oscar Tabares around for so long, he just wasn't delivering in the World Cup qualifiers recently. But now, with Diego Alonso, they're looking more in form again. I feel like Uruguay can easily impress in this group or just absolutely crash. And I wouldn't be surprised if they do end up slipping. South Korea, obviously, Heung-min Son comes to mind straight off the bat for most people, but still so many underrated players. And Portugal, can't forget about them. The one concern about Portugal is how well Santos will do. He's got so much phenomenal talent on the squad, more than even during the time he won Euro 2016, but he still seems to be struggling to utilize them well. Getting knocked out in the World Cup round of 16, getting knocked out in Euro 2020 round of 16. I see Portugal maybe having a questionable matchup in this group stage, but I still see them somewhat cruising through this. I'm going to say they get first. The attack is just too dangerous. Cristiano Ronaldo want to go out with a bang as well. This is his last World Cup. Phenomenal players all around, though, in the attack and the defense. Portugal's evolving. They'll be in safe hands even when Ronaldo leaves. Respect to this country. But now between Ghana, Uruguay, and Korea, a very, very tough test. Do I see Uruguay slipping here? I'm going to go for a bit of an upset and say yes. I'm going to say Ghana are able to complete a comeback against them, just edging it for that second place spot. I know it's not likely. I know many people are not predicting that. Just my very early thoughts were Uruguay just missed out to make it to the next round and South Korea in last. I'm probably going to get loads of hate for that prediction. Uruguay are such a phenomenal side. But look, this is the World Cup. We got to see some upsets happen in the group stage. It wouldn't be right without a few. I think this is my biggest one where Uruguay don't make it to the next round. But yeah, they made it all the way to the quarterfinals, so I won't be surprised if I'm wrong on this. A very bold prediction, I know, but I could see Uruguay slipping to 3rd and Ghana or South Korea taking 2nd. I'll go with Ghana. I'll say they'll be bold and get a comeback against Uruguay. So if these group stage predictions were to come true, here is what the round of 16 would be looking like. Netherlands versus Iran, Argentina versus France, England versus Senegal, Denmark versus Mexico, Germany versus Croatia, Brazil versus Ghana, Belgium versus Spain, and Portugal versus Serbia. Oh man, I'm sure Portugal will be hungry for revenge in that matchup. But yeah, guys, I'm going to end the video here. If you want to see the rest of my predictions for the knockouts, hit the like button. If this video gets 2,000 likes, I will carry on with these predictions. But yeah, thank you all for making it to the end. Like I said, let me know your predictions in the comments below. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care. Boa noite.